Hey there tech fans, Rick here again from the OREI team. In today's video, I'd like to show you how you can easily use the new ToVi system to create an HDMI splitter and extender relationship that allows you to easily share all of your media content from one location with multiple remote locations at the same time, up to 100 meters away from that primary location over a single Cat6 or Cat7 LAN cable. The ToVi system from OREI provides a flexible and expandable AV-over-IP solution that is totally software defined. And what I mean by that is most solutions on the market can perform one function. They're an HDMI switch or an HDMI multiplexer. And the difference with the ToVi system is because it's software defined, you can create the relationships you need on the same network at the same time. So for example, you can use the ToVi system to create an HDMI extension relationship where you're sharing content across that network with a single location, or in today's example, an HDMI splitter relationship where that same media content is sent to multiple locations at the same time. You can also create an HDMI multiplexer or even a video wall controller using the equipment and simply changing the way the software behaves. Now for today's example, you'll need a single transmitter and a minimum of 2 receiver modules. The transmitter module will connect to your media device, and the receiver modules will connect to a single monitor at each of those remote locations that you'd like to use to enjoy that content. Now, if you stay tuned next, I'll walk you through the graphical user interface and show you how to set up that relationship, and then I'll come back and do a short demonstration to show you just how easy this solution will be to use with your own equipment. To set up an HDMI splitter and extender relationship using the new ToVi system, you'll need a single transmitter module and 2 receiver modules. The transmitter module connects to whatever media device you'd like to share the content from with your remote locations, and each of the receiver modules connects to a local monitor at those remote locations that you'd like to use to enjoy the content. So the first thing you'll need to do is to plug the transmitter module, both receiver modules, and the network control hub into the PoE switch using a standard Cat6 or Cat7 LAN cable, and then power everything up. At this point, you can simply open a web browser on any computer connected to that same network and navigate to IP address 169.254.8.100, which is the network address of the control hub. Once there, you'll be greeted by the welcome screen. Here you can enter your password and click the login button to take you to the main screen in the GUI. Now the first time you use the system, the network control hub isn't aware of any ToVi modules that are connected, so you'll need to search for those and add them to the system. And the first screen you'll see is a screen asking you if you'd like to use the wizard to do that. And if you'd like to use that wizard, just click the next button here. Now I'd like to show you how you can add these manually, so I'll close out of the wizard and confirm that I don't want to use that program. And now you're on the main screen of the GUI. Along the left-hand side, you'll see several choices, including device, matrix, video wall, user. We're going to stay on device for now. And if you look closely, you'll see encoders listed and decoders listed. Now, the system at present doesn't see any encoders or any decoders because we haven't searched for them yet. So to search for them, if you scroll down, I can search via the wizard. So I'll click that button, and then I'd like to have whatever it finds automatically managed by the control box. So I'll click next, and what's happening here is the network control box is scanning the network. It's actually crawling all of the IP addresses on the network to see what it finds as far as ToVi compatible products. Now this takes a little bit of time the first time you run it because it's got to find all of the control boxes, whether they're transmitters or receivers or encoders or decoders. And when it finishes, it'll present all of the modules that it's discovered on that network. And this whole process takes about 15 seconds. Now once it finishes, you'll be presented with a few choices. I can either automatically add the encoders and decoders that have found in the system, or I can list all of them. You might want to list them if you want to change some of the parameters, but for now I'm just going to add them to the system. So I'll click next, and then it asks you again, do you want to stop searching and list them, or stop searching and add them to the system? I'd like to add them to the system, so I'll click that button. Now watch the encoder and decoder tabs, and you'll see that it added a single encoder and it added 2 decoders, which is great because I have 2 receivers and a single transmitter. So now that these are part of the system, I can go to the matrix tab here, and again you'll see a single encoder and you'll see 2 decoders on this side. And if I'd like to send this media content to both of these remote locations here, all I have to do is drag it and drop it on that location, and drag it and drop it on the second location. And what's going to happen now is the transmitter module is going to digitally connect to both of those receiver modules and share the content from that transmitter with both of those remote locations. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to create an HDMI splitter and extender relationship using the new ToVi system. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a small media player that's currently looping a video on this monitor, and that's the media content that I'd like to share with my two remote locations. Over here I've set up two more monitors. Each of these represents a different remote location where I'd like to enjoy the content from that primary location. And these can be up to 100 meters apart. Over here I have a transmitter module which connects to the media device, and over here I have two receiver modules, one for each of these monitors. Now all of these modules, including the network control hub, are all connected to the same PoE switch, which provides power and network connectivity. Now the first connection I'll make is from the media device directly to the transmitter, and I'll do that by disconnecting the HDMI cable from the monitor and plugging that directly into the HDMI input port on the back of the transmitter. Now this product provides local loopback functionality, which allows me to continue to enjoy the content here while I'm simultaneously sharing it across my network. And to take advantage of that feature, you'll need an additional HDMI cable. You'll plug one end of it into a local monitor at the primary location and the other end of it into the HDMI output port on the back of the transmitter. It'll take a second and you'll see the media content come up here. Now all I need to do is to connect these two monitors up to the receivers. But before that, I've already set up the relationship between the transmitter and these two remote receivers using the GUI. So I've got two high-speed HDMI cables right here connected to the monitors, and I'll plug those directly into the HDMI output port on the back of both receivers. And the minute I do that, you'll see the image pop up. Now that relationship is completely software defined. I've told the transmitter to find these two receivers and share the content with those receivers. Now you can easily add additional receivers to distribute that content to even more locations. And the best part is, you've got an HDMI signal here that's being converted into a network signal, sent across that network, and then converted back into an HDMI signal for display on these monitors. And again, these can be up to 100 meters apart, and you can change this relationship through software on that network control hub. And it really is just that easy to get it working. I hope that overview of the GUI and the demonstration were helpful in showing you just how flexible this new ToVi system really is. Because it's software defined, you can easily create multiple relationships at the same time across the same network. So in today's example, I created an HDMI splitter and extender relationship, which sent the same media content to multiple remote locations at the same time, but I could also use this system to just do a single HDMI extension, or an HDMI switch where I select between two different inputs sent to a remote location, or even a multiplexer relationship where I have multiple inputs and multiple outputs, and I can easily select where those inputs are being sent across the network. And finally, you can even use this system to create a gigantic video wall by stacking 4 of these together at a single location, and the media content that's sent to that location is broken into 4 quadrants and displayed across those 4 monitors. And the best part is the flexibility this system provides means that you can make those changes on the fly, and you can adjust for whatever your needs happen to be. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks a lot for watching.